it's not over yet. So we know that it's been going on. It's been going on for a while. It's being exposed. I don't think we're going to see the midterms. I could be mistaken, but at this point, I don't see how it could happen. Now, I'm going to have a couple guests on. One of them is Chris Gleason, Army veteran, tech pioneer, the whistleblower whose forensic evidence triggered the first congressional pressure on Act Blue, the first criminal referral by a state attorney general, a full House investigation, and a presidential memorandum. No other candidate, and this is he's in Florida, in America, has driven action at every level of government on a single issue through the force of their own work. And we'll have one of our favorites, Louis Herms, who is a prominent figure in the Patriot movement, known for his activism, filmmaking, and grassroots organizing. A 2026 California gubernatorial candidate, he is the creator of several initiatives, including Screw Big Gov, Freedom in Action, and the Truth Tour. His work centers on exposing government corruption, election fraud, media manipulation, and the influence of globalist entities, while advocating for constitutional freedoms, civic engagement, and stronger action to combat child and human trafficking across the world. Now, we're seeing in California, there's been a huge exposure that's been ongoing now for the last several days of Chinese corruption in the political system. And that's on and on. Fraud in California, as far as taking taxpayer money and using it for other purposes rather than what it's intended to. That's being exposed in California. I say that California has well over $1 trillion worth of fraud going on. If that fraud came back to the United States government, our taxpayer money, think of it taking down one of those $30 trillion, I say that's all a fraud that's coming from the United States. All the states are pretty much involved in fraud at the federal level. So those involved in it, that's a federal offense. The corruption at the federal offense, has stiffer penalties, longer sentencing, and so forth. We have a lot of people who need to go away for a very, very long time throughout the United States. Governors, their attorney generals, their political staffs, election fraud within their different groups. So all of this is being exposed, and I think that as we move forward, we're gonna continue to see more and more of that exposure. So the $30 trillion in that federal government owes the Federal Reserve for borrowing, should be able to be paid off, and then IRS taxes should go away, right? So the Federal Reserve should go away, and and then it should be a flat tax throughout each state, which takes in those monies. The property tax should go away. So there's a lot of taxation. Didn't we start a revolutionary war about that? Taxation without fair representation. Taxation at all, in a lot of cases, should absolutely go away. So I think that's coming. Now, Juan O'Savin is really going after exposing this fraud. He's been on a lot of different shows. I've been listening to him, expose a lot. So, of course, he's been on this program multiple times over the last 6 years, exposing election fraud, all kinds of fraud, Chinese fraud, City of London fraud, you name it, the fraud is out there on a massive scale. Many other people are talking about the fraud that's within the military. That needs to stop. And what we're seeing now in Spokane is another military fraud that's basically, going in with direct energy weapons and frying Spokane and the surrounding areas, and probably starting fires throughout the United States right now and in other countries. France is having the same type of fires. direct energy weapon fires where homes are being, turned to dust, and the vegetation around the homes is green. So, same thing in Spain, same thing in, I don't know, where Greece. Uh, is there any country in the world right now that's not being hammered by the deep state right now? So, as a world entity, we need to rise up and we need to start to push back on this. Of course, the people that are protecting that deep state are the political elite, as they like to call themselves. They'll be nice and elite in a lot of these prison cells, and then at some point, probably a lot of them executed. So I think this is where a lot of that needs to go. We need to start to push on this very hard. Start electing the right people in the right positions, and like the gentleman I just introduced, Chris Gleason, is running. I think he's running for the Senate, Florida Senate. That would be definitely someone to be in the right position. As an Army veteran and tech pioneer, he would know about direct energy weapons and how to go after the people that are involved in it. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, well, it's very simple to start this. I was just up at James Gilliland's ranch in Washington State, and he said that the base commander that's close to where his ranch is contacted him on the phone and told him to quit, talking about UFOs. It's like, what? So, and then, he has helicopters that fly around at low levels, harassing him. Jets that come around and are circling his compound at very, very low levels. He talked about how these jets came in and were almost at stall, so that their nose were pointing up and their, afterburners were pointing down, and they were slowly going around his compound looking for what he said was a jet that I guess had come in to cause some harm or some damage, and it had disappeared. Now, from what he was telling me, it went into another dimensional time, and they were looking for it. So don't mess with some of us, because that's going to come back and bite you. All right. So we're seeing a lot of these people are being exposed, but no charges, no hauling away. When is this going to start? A lot of us are like chomping at the bit. I think that we may need to start our own courts and start to hold these people accountable, and then get people that will, maybe law enforcement, that we voted in some really good sheriffs, constitutional sheriffs. We could get some really good, and this is happening in California. We could get some really good judges that could get involved. So you got you got a good judge that can do the right court procedures and so forth. Can call it. They could, send out, somebody needs to be arrested for this, and this involvement. The local community is like completely on board with it. You maybe have city councils they get together and push it up to the judge level, the sheriff level, and then they can respond. They at the community level, we can we need to see justice here, because we've been our cities have been burned, and we know that these people are involved in it, and so forth. And then we get a judge that has them arrested, brings them in on charges that we file. We file the charges. The community files those charges, and then the judge and the sheriff, executes them. Not literally yet, but they bring them in, and then they go through a trial process. So this is really where it needs to go, and I think it's going to be one of the things that's going to get a lot of these people taken off the scene. And then it's going to just continue to move up. So we're already seeing a lot of these people are starting to flee America, right? Some of them are starting to creep back because they think it's okay. That's going to be a wrong decision, because we're definitely going to move forward and start to take these people out, all right? So, more and more as we move forward of this corruption gets exposed. Now, right now, I think, is doing a show or did a show. The title was Juan O'Savin, Tina Peters, Patrick Byrne, Why the 2026 Midterms Can't Be Fixed. Now, this is Blessed to Teach, restored after 5 years. And I'm going to play a little bit of this while I'm waiting for these guys to show up. And let me bring this up and start it out.
He signed it. And that order said that all the counties had to clean up their voter rolls in preparation for the midterms. And they had 188 days to complete that task, along with assistance by the governors, et cetera, state by state. Of the 2,500 and whatever number counties is, I think it's 41 counties in the United States. How many counties cleaned up, county clerks, people in the position like Tina Peters was in, how many of them cleaned up their voter rolls in preparation for the midterms? Not one. Nobody complied with an executive order from the president. Just like when the president issued a presidential pardon for Tina Peters, and then the state governor and the prison system refused to honor it and said states' rights. So,
right.
So think about that, guys. Not one county in the United States obeyed a presidential order, demanding that the county, clean up their voter rolls and so forth, and prepare for the midterms. Not one county in America did that. Now, if President Trump did an executive order and canceled the midterms, I think that some of these states will go ahead with their midterms and go through their election process. So that's going to be another level, So if the president does an executive order, stops the election on the federal level, and then these states continue, which I think pretty sure they probably will, especially California and all the leftist states are going to do it. They have to. If they don't do it, then they cease to exist. They will cease to exist because we'll get such a grassroots movement that we will start to take them down, like I'm talking about. Right? They know that's coming, so they have to really push and go through this fake, corrupt election process that they've been using for years now, and select more corruption into the system, push more corruption down upon us to control and manipulate and silence us. So this is absolutely, I believe, what's coming. Yeah, we could stop. The president can stop the elections, but I think they are going to continue with them. All right, and we're going to see some funky stuff going on if that goes down, and I think that's definitely coming.
States set the time and place for the vote. So at the end of the day, nothing was done to correct the problem with the voter rolls. And therefore, the vote in just a couple of months now was not protected as far as people voting that aren't lawful, legal citizens. And what that does is it's a civil rights violation of the rest of the citizen voters, because their vote doesn't count if somebody else is voting and canceling theirs.
Right.
In fact, Lisa Murkowski, for example, up in Alaska, she says that she's not signing the SAVE Act because it makes it hard, impossible for people in Alaska who may not be able to get ID, because a lot of natives live way out there somewhere, and they have a hard time validating birth records and getting in the system, the machine, and so it's just hard to get them on the voter rolls correctly, which is about as much BS as there could be on planet Earth.
No kidding.
And
so racist.
they can fly their planes, they can register their boats, they can certainly get their state dividend money. They get all the government's program assistance, and they can't get valid ID. It's the dumbest, dumbass thing on planet Earth. Okay, and the number who might not have that want to vote, yeah, I probably count on less than one hand. Okay, so the reality is it's a foil. They don't want to get the SAVE Act to protect voters and voting rights of citizens. It's not just about the people who aren't registered to vote. It's about the people who are registered to vote getting their vote canceled by people who aren't there lawfully, validly. And so it cuts both ways. Because with an executive order, it's insufficient to force things to go properly. You have to think about this. This is so important. This is where a lot of people are missing it. The executive order has been shown now to be something that states and other voting officials can ignore if they so choose. And it's like a policing order. Don't cross except in the crosswalk. No jaywalking. Well, if nobody sees you jaywalk, or if you're out in the middle of freaking Timbuktu and you cross the street because the next crosswalk's half a mile or 20 miles away, who's enforcing it? Who's paying attention? Does it really matter? I'm out in the country a lot, and some of those sections where you drive, I'll slow down. I can see a mile to the left and a mile to the right, and I come up to that stop sign. I'll ease down, but crap, I've got a freaking 40-foot trailer behind me. I'm moving 50,000 pounds on the truck, on the trailer behind me. I don't bring it to a full stop. I'll watch, I'll look. If I see it.
All right, as you just saw, there was a comment from Seven Rick Rock. He comes in and makes really good comments in my show as well. 6,000-year-old death cult isn't easy to take down, and their infiltration, like we've talked about, through every system that's out there right now. I saw them when I was in the CIA. I saw them when I was in the SEAL teams. These, very, very high up in the government and very, very high up in the military. We know that there's lots of, high-end, technologies that are protected by the military-industrial complex because they want to maintain an edge. They use that edge against the entire world, including the U.S. population, guys. So that system has to be taken down, but it's very difficult because it's so deeply ingrained. So imagine you have Masons, you have Masonic lodges all across America. How many people are involved in those Masonic lodges? Those Masonic lodges, on the very entry level, you just have the regular folk. But once they start to go up further and further, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way up to, 32nd, 33rd degree Mason, those guys are, they're corruptible, and they have information. I remember talking to a lot of those guys over the years when they first went into the Masonic lodges, and we were talking about a lot of interesting stuff, and they were very open-minded. But once they got deeper into those lodges, their open-mindedness and the conversation started to shut down. So this is some of the things that are happening on multiple levels. It's very, very difficult. You have people that are deeply involved in levels of government and levels of the political realm, of course, and then the medical community. The medical community, we can see a lot of similarities that happen in Nazi Germany. with the way they came in, and they did the exact same thing with the illness that was happening in Germany, and they used that to go after different communities, shut people down, put people in concentration camps. Now they were planning on doing that in America. In New York, they kept trying to pass a law where those that didn't get the COVID vaccine were going to go to basically concentration camp. And the people of New York, we started to let them know that that's what they were going to do, and people stood up. Both times they did it once. They let the dust settle and they tried to sneak it in again. Patriots, sounded the alarm, and the people said, "No way, you're going to pass that," and they didn't. Remember, at one point, they said that they were going to start to come into our homes and vaccinate us, and we very loudly and very forcefully said that you do that, you're going to get shot. You're not going to live. So they backed down, and that was the end of the COVID push by the corrupt Biden administration. And then, of course, all those people started getting COVID, even though they said that you get vaccinated, don't worry, you're not going to get COVID. They started getting COVID. And then people started dying from those shots on a massive scale. And they still are. So all of this is being exposed still. Still, there's a lot of people that don't understand it. There's still people that don't understand that 9/11 was an inside job. My God, that was like a quarter century ago. So, this fraud, this exposure is an ongoing process, and it's going to continue until we take them all down.
Pounds on the truck, on the trailer behind me. I don't bring it to a full stop. I'll watch, I'll look. If I see it's clear, I'll come down. I might be going 5 miles an hour and I go through that stop sign. I'm sorry, it's the way it is. That's the way they're viewing these executive orders from the president. And they can choose to enforce it or not. They're looking around, I don't see any problem, and I'm just going to go. So now we come back to what's got to happen. As I've told this audience and numerous other audiences, the president is about to do something absolutely astonishing, and it's to save America. And the contrast is this, the problem is this. Had he been able to put out the executive order, proposed executive order we put together last year,
Right.
and get it enforced in time, you'd have had a year till the elections, a year and a half even, to get everything in place. You'd have had a year till the primaries started to try and get things working halfway right. And go through the court process and let everybody argue, etc. We're now well past that. Primaries have already occurred. Candidates have gotten on the ballot through ballot fraud,
Right.
through frauds within the primary process, people voting who had no legal right.
So he's bringing up the case that we have throughout America now through these primaries. We've had election fraud to get people on the ballot to be elected through fraudulent elections within the primaries. So this has to be stopped. Juan has said that that's what's going to happen. Many of us believe it's going to come down to probably late October. So don't get all excited if you don't see it happen anytime soon, because it has to. Because if we the president and so forth, the team were to come in and do it now, there's enough time where they could come in with legal activities and so forth to push it. But if we get it right to that point and then stop it, it's basically stopped. It's very hard to restart it at that point because the system, grinds and grinds and grinds. And when you stop it, throw something into the wheel and, it comes to a grinding halt. It's very hard to get it going again. But it'll grind away until you do something to stop it. And if you do try to stop it, they can pull out all the cogs and start another process and go ahead and do the election anyway, like I'm talking about. They could go ahead and do it anyway. But if you stop it, close enough to that election and everything's lined up to go with the regular process, it's very hard for them to continue that process and cheat and go forward and say, well, we went through the process like it's normally supposed to be, and we elected this communist, this communist, this communist, this communist, and this communist throughout the country, guys. We can't have that. And that's one of the things that Juan's been talking about, that President Trump is ready to stop this process. Whether it happens or not remains to be seen. Now, I said a couple days ago that it's going to be very, very hard for us to expose this kind of stuff. And my two guests, I don't know, they were supposed to come on at 5 o'clock. Here it is, almost half an hour in. We're contacting them. They have the link. I don't know why they're not here, but this is part of the things that are going on. I was going to do this show with these guys, and I promoted it, and I got a massive hit. So it's just one of those things. It's going to be very hard. They're going to protect their election steal at every cost, right? They're going to try every means possible to them to shut down this process that we're trying to expose, and this process that we're trying to stop, the election steal. They're going to do everything in their power to continue this, and their Mockingbird media is going to come out against that possibility. And that's one of the reasons why I hate to say that this is probably what's going to happen, because then the Mockingbird media comes out and denigrates that possibility and the people that might be involved in that, and then the unfortunately it seems like half the population is against us running this, and they're trying to get even more. Even the people that for a long time have been part of the Trump MAGA team, you have people like Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and Marjorie Taylor Greene now, and lots of different people. I see General Flynn's involved with that group, trying to are they going to promote him as the next presidential candidate? That would be horrific, in my opinion. So if we don't destroy this election theft, then other actors like that group will be able to come in and manipulate the scene as well. So and some people believe those people are good. I say they're not. There's a lot of people that say they're not. I think it's the same thing. It's like half of us are think they're corrupt, and half love them. It's the same thing that's going on with everything now. It's very difficult in this time frame to expose all this stuff. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to expose it the best that we can. We're trying to get the people on that are going to expose it. But it seems like there's a lot of resistance to that, as we're seeing right now as I'm trying to do this show. All right. So this is where I'm going to sign off. I don't know where these guys are. Like I said, we've been trying to get them on. They're being blocked somehow. This is, like I said, part of the system. And I'm, I hate to keep you guys waiting with people that should have been here like half an hour ago. So who knows what's going on their end. All right, I'll play a little bit more of this. Tracy's on trying to get these guys to show up. I don't know, but I'm gonna give it a few more minutes and then we're gonna sign off if they don't show up.
And people being obstructed from being on the ballot for all sorts of wonky.
Yeah, like he's saying, people being obstructed. So there should be people on the ballot that would be good for their communities, their governments, and so forth, for America, but they've been restricted, just like it seems like these guys are being restricted. It's crazy. It's crazy right now.
So with that in mind, it's impossible at this moment in time. It's impossible. It's feasibly impossible to correct the coming vote for the midterms, because the primaries have already put people on the ballots who are not the legitimate candidate.
Exactly.
Who aren't there legitimately, okay? Unless you could clean up the primaries before the general election, it would be impossible to have a honest general election at this point in November. For that reason, it's necessary, if you're going to have an honest midterm election, to pause them, to clean up what just happened in the primaries, has happened thus far, what's still happening in the primaries, and then to turn around and allow those to be rerun. See, from the time that people decide to run, and then they got to go out and try to get voters to agree to, put them on the ballot, Democrat, Republican, independent, things like that. That process alone needs pretty much bare minimum, in a worst case scenario, 3 months, and more likely 6 months, to allow people to make the decision, get the campaign financing sorted out so they can run an honest campaign to get on the ballot for at the primary, and then run the rest of the way to the general election. That process.
All right, so probably a 1 year, in my opinion. Stand down and clean the elections up, get the right people on the ballot, redo the pre-election, pre-ballot, stuff, primaries, redo the primaries, and make sure there's no cheating going on. So I think at least a year. I think at least a year from the point they stop it to the point where we do it again. And I think that could assuage a lot of people. It's like, look, we're going to our country is under threat from foreign governments. They've been coming in and manipulating, and that's being exposed right now in California. That could be brought up and used to show that we have foreign interference in our election system. It happened in 2020. It's been happening for long before that. And I think that this is going to be the thing that goes forward. Now, is that legal? Yes, it can be legal. It's basically there's different ways that can happen. We've had many legal authorities, experts, that have talked about how the president has the right to, as commander in chief, to basically come in. You could use that angle. You could use the angle of election interference from foreign governments. He could say on the federal level, it's corrupted. We have to clean it up. So there's multiple ways that this can legally be shut down. So golden lock. Hopefully that Goldilocks. Locks 17. So good. That's a good one. Do you have Goldilocks? All right. So that's one of the things that is up, and it's not. I don't think it's going to be debatable with the evidence that they probably have ready to roll out. It's, in my opinion, it's already, there's enough election interference have been exposed that we can shut down this coming election and start to expose the voter fraud from all the different sources, and then start to roll out, I don't know, maybe some kind of blockchain voting process that can't be that could be shown not to be manipulable. So who knows? Maybe they have that already ready to roll out along with some of the blockchain in the financial institutions. So blockchain can be used in a lot of different ways to not only show the corruption that's out there, but also to stop the corruption and the fraud. All right, because it's so easily you can easily expose it if there was any kind of corruption. And of course, in some cases, it can't be corrupted. All right, guys, that's all I got for right now. I don't know what happened to those guys. Hopefully, we can figure it out. Maybe have them on a future show. But this is part of the process of corruption that's going on out there, stopping us from bringing this information out and exposing all the different corruption and so forth. So
He's still on live right now. Just wing it, say, today I'm talking to you.
all right, so we're talking to Lewis right now. I don't know if there's some kind of coordination going on between the different staffs or whatever, but
I can drop in 2 minutes. They'll be in 2 minutes.
all right, he's saying he can drop in 2 minutes. All right,
Do it.
and so I'll give it 2 more minutes, and we'll see what happens. Let's play a little bit more of wine.
The perfect world's a year. So if you shorten and compressed it, would it be fair to candidates to only make it, half a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably could do it. But here's the problem. At this and because they've had a serious voice till now, and they've done important work till now, still don't quite grasp that technically, even legally, it is now past the point of no return to fix this year's elections in November. Why? Because they're already fixed. The fix is in.
Yep.
The only alternative is a full stop, an emergency stop, a pause. And that's exactly what Trump is going to do. So when people stomp their feet, get
that was
pissed
a
off,
theory.
get
That was
mad
a theory
because-
you had a couple of months ago, but you've gotten confirmation that is more probable now.
Well, I've been saying.
All right, so we got Lewis in the house, so we'll get him up. Lewis, how's it going?
Good. As you can see, I'm just hanging out in the White House with President Trump.
Yeah, very good.
Other than that, everything's fine.
Awesome. So you've had a lot of election fraud that's been going on there in California. I know you got some really good insights about that. Anything you can share with us?
Yeah, in fact, I can summarize it real quick. And first, I'd like to apologize. It took me so long to get on. I guess wires got crossed between everybody, but I'm here. So, you know what? I think I can bet you I can cut it down to the nitty gritty in 5 minutes. It's so powerful. People are going to be very, very upset, and then probably more upset that they're not seeing any movement from the administration in the public eye, right? And no, I'm not doing that because I'm part of the Illuminati. I'm just showing you an eyeball. Although I do have a film coming out about the Illuminati.
Oh,
so
good.
that's why it's on the
forward to it.
forefront of my mind. So to give you an idea, I was in a unique position as a candidate when I ran for governor of California, that we could pull records a lot quicker than somebody, man on the street or somebody that voted. So knowing that I was leaving, somebody connected me with a gentleman named Christopher Gleason, who's actually running for senator in Florida.
Right.
And he became my main man, and he's amazing. Have you had him on your show yet?
No, I don't know if he's going to be able to make it, but
We'll make it happen.
You earlier, so
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
Good.
His election knowledge is unsurpassed, right? And he understands the games they play. So I signed him on what's called as a designee, which is something that you can do. So on my behalf, he would pull these records, right? And he went hog wild, but he actually went down to LA County. Now, why did I select LA County? Because in the zeitgeist, everybody was talking about Spencer Pratt. The election was stolen from Spencer Pratt. So I knew I had the public behind me, not just the people that are awake, the
Mhm.
people that saw something. So I said, okay, what better place to investigate than the one that you already have the public support on, right? Because we're going to need we the people to push this through, because I don't know if there's anybody out there to save us at this moment. So when we got into this, Christopher went down there and he saw a pallet of ballots that says UAA. Now, if you're involved in the elections, you're familiar with UAA as undeliverable as address, and that's what the United States Post Office labels them as. So those were returned. Now, to put this in perspective, the average UAAs in any given county, somewhere around 2%. We had 690,000 ballots in LA County alone that were considered UAA, undeliverable as addressed by the post office. Now, you go, well, but there's so many millions of people. But to put it in perspective, that's 12% of the ballots, 11.8% to be exact. 12%. That's 6 times the norm. So Chris is a smart dude. That was a massive red flag. So did some more digging.
Good.
And he found that 130,000 of those undeliverable as addressed magically voted. So that means if we do the math on that part, about 20% of those people had to do one of two things. They had to contact the elections office and said, I never received my ballot. Can you send it to me again? That doesn't happen, just so people know. Or they would have to go in and say, I never received my ballot. I would like a provisional. So statistically, that's under 1%. Yet, around 20% of those voted. So all that is obviously there's some shenanigans going on right there. We could literally stop right there and people should throw up their arms and go, wow, the elections are completely fraudulent. What's going on? So what we did is we did a ton of FOIA requests and CPRAs in regards to that, plus another 400,000 ballots that just appeared out of nowhere. We wanted to look at those. They refused us to look at the 400,000. They put us on what's called a FOIA stall, which we knew. That was give us an extra 14 days to figure this out, right? But then here's where the bombshell happened. We started digging in specifically on those 130,000, what exactly we needed. In fact, they were ignoring us, so I went so as far as I emailed them. I sent a certified letter and a FedEx with a check into it to prepay for whatever the cost would be for us to audit those 130,000. The response back should make people shudder while they're sleeping. The response back was, here's your check. We can't use this. B, we don't know when we're going to be able to get those records to you. C, we don't know when we could even contact you and let you know when it could happen. And that was it. No more response. It's crickets now. They've been FOIA'd. So now I have to take it to the next level, right? And I can tell you what I just did is I just submitted a HAVA Title III administrative complaint. I did this last week, right? And we have to pay for all of this stuff, right? That's just the way it works. So I had to do the Title III complaint, and the next I have about 2.5 more weeks to do an NVRA. I'm going to go to that. And then I have to do a written preservation retention demand of certain people in LA County. And then there's something we can do that I can't say out loud because I don't want to give it away, but it involves we the people putting something together. It's very powerful. And then I'm probably going to do a writ of mandamus in the Superior Court. So these are the type of things that we're doing to fight for we the people, and we're getting no support. I can't even say very little support. We're just getting No support. We've had people contact people in the administration. They kind of don't want to hear about it. They're blowing it off. That's okay. I don't fuck around, excuse my language. So I'm going to write all the prominent people in the administration this week, and they're going to get a summary of what we have found. And then I'm going to publicize that letter and get some funding to help publicize it and put it all over, advertise it, not blaming them, say, here's what's in front of them. Guys, it's out of my hands. You go ahead and hold these people accountable. The FBI, Harmeet Dillon, President Trump, whoever I add to the letter, Kash Patel. Here it is. We know what's going on. Are they going to do something about it? It's on them now. And I can hear all day long about Q, trust the plan, and that's all great, right? But what if you're wrong? What if there wasn't somebody coming to save us on a white horse and we just stood back and waited? This is, Michael, why you and I have talked about this. I've said from the beginning, we the people are the plan.
Yep.
Because at minimum, let's assume President Trump's going to come in and help save us all in the military, which, by the way, I do believe there's a plan. So I'm not poo-pooing the plan. But let's assume that's true. I think they need to know that the people have the wherewithal to not only assist them, but take the ball, like he said on January 20th, 2017, gave it back to the people, or we're not going to earn this and it's never going to happen. And this is why I'm asking the people to help step up and say, how can we make a difference? What can we do? And I'm going to tell everybody right now, put pressure on the right places with the information that I'm going to lay out in this week. Very easy. Hopefully I can do it 1 page. It may be 2 pages, something super easy that anybody can say, hey, why isn't this being addressed? And that's what I feel my job is as part of We the People. I try to summarize it as quick as I could for you.
Nice. So, and then what's the step after that? Do you go to some kind of legal representation? You get a judge involved. You get the law enforcement involved and start making arrests. So, I mean,
well, they're not going to do anything. The law enforcement is just turned a blind eye to this,
right?
And that's the sad thing. Well, you know what? You may have something live. I just got a response from, I think it was the post office. Hold on a second. This may be something cool that just popped in. Okay. Somebody just texted me saying they have evidence that the post office is hiding something. So of course it's just more. That's good though. That means people are working at this, trying to do what they can.
Yeah. So we're giving them that space because you are pushing, I'm pushing, I'm saying it's like we the people now. I believe that our government is with President Trump is involved on some level. I don't know. I can't see it, but I believe they are. Juan O'Savins talked about how there's going to be an executive order that's basically going to shut down the midterms so that year out we can get the right people on the ballots, because the initial ballots and voting and so forth has been corrupted, and so you have to go through another whole year-long cycle to correct that. But what if that doesn't happen, and then we go into an election which we already know is stolen?
Yep. What if? Is that not the biggest question out there? And that's the most important one. So the great example is Juan believes that the president is going to sign an executive order and maybe suspend the elections. I've sent a letter to President Trump personally, said there's a way to do that without even suspending it. But let's assume that to be true. Let's use Juan as an example. At the same time Juan is believing that that's going to happen, he's pulling together people to expose the fraud in the elections. Mm-hmm. So this is a perfect example. So he believes that's going to happen, but he's not sitting on his ass doing nothing. He's still putting together people to expose the election. This is what I've been trying to tell people for so many years, and it's getting me frustrated. The trust the plan narrative wasn't about us sitting on our couch with the froggy mask eating popcorn. That's not what that was about. That was about, because that's in the drops 42 times, but 147 times it says the people. So it's about the people getting activated and making a difference. And assuming the military is going to step up, then we work symbiotically with them, right? And that's why this is so important. So I just hope to lead by example in that regards. And at least if I'm wrong, I die knowing I tried.
Yeah. Now, there's lots of, it's all over the news right now, Chinese political corruption, in the elections. So what are you seeing on that? There's incredible amount.
I think it's true, but I think the overall narrative is a psyop, which is good. I understand what it's for, and the reality is let's just talk reality. China, Serbia, Italy, Venezuela, Iran have all been involved in our elections.
Right.
Put those aside for a second. None of them have been more involved than the deep state CIA within inside of our country.
Good point.
So, but it's harder to show exposure inside of our country of the bad actors like the Comeys and so on and so forth, and suspend an election or use the War Powers Act to do that. So how do the bad actors like the Comeys and so on and so forth, and suspend an election or use the War Powers Act to do that? So how do you do that? You have to show that it's foreign invasion that has been doing this, and now you can use the War Powers Act and you can suspend it. So I know this is not the narrative that I'm sure the Trump administration wants to hear. I'm just trying to tell people this is what I believe is really going on, and why there's so much focus on the foreign interference, because you can use that as a tool, which they should, to take care of some things.
Yeah, so Trump claimed China collected 220 million U.S. voter registration files. But that data is easy to obtain in most states, unless you, the federal government, you or me or somebody in the federal government asks for it, and then they can't get it. We can't get it. So, so that's CBS News reporting that, the Mockingbird Media in our face as usual. So again, we, the people, have to push forward and get more involved. Just being vocal like we are right now, I don't think is enough. I mean, I'm looking at directed energy weapon attacks happening in another major city, Spokane. So that's so freaking obvious. It's crazy.
Yeah. There's trees right next to cars, and the metal cars are completely burned up, and the tires are gone. This is, come on, guys. It's just so obvious. I mean, I was boots on the ground, did an investigation in Paradise and Lahaina and the Palisades. Literally, physically went to all three locations.
Wow, good job.
Right, and I can tell you, there's anomalies between them, but you know what's consistent? There was some actors that were not the wind, right, or not an electrical pole, that were involved in all those fires.
Yeah, and I've done several shows over the last several days that have exposed all that. I've had guests on my program. Maybe we should do a show, because you've been to all three of them. Wow, that's good.
Yeah, boots on the ground.
It's out there that talks about all of those and more, where he shows the vegetation. That's there's no way that the vegetation would act the way it is acting. And then you have trees that are burning internally. That's microwave energy, of course, and on and on. And I just did a show earlier. I think it was Paul Preston. He basically, we both talked about all this, and he said he went to 28 days. He was up in Paradise, and he said that there were trees that had completely been burned away all the way down into the root system. And they were going 6 feet down because the soil is compromised by all the radiation from the microwave energy and so forth, 6 feet down before they found soil that was uncontaminated. So we both talked about how the systems, the water systems, the piping melted, underground. So that's again in Lahaina and in Paradise. And it sounds like you probably know all about this too. The only one that I've been to is there in Malibu and the areas around there. So,
Which, by the way, I think I've proven that's probably not directed energy weapons, but it was smart meters.
I think they're both involved. Yeah.
And I'm the only one that showed that there's smart meters there, because I said, okay, let's check this out. What could this possibly be? Edison International, smart meters. 2012, they have a memo. It's still there on their document. It was there 2 weeks ago. Should be on their website right now. You guys can go there. Go Edison International, smart meters. 2012, we proposed to put smart meters in these cities. There's 98 cities in LA and Ventura County. The 14 cities as where they're going to put smart meters.
Wow.
Because they're satanic and they have to tell on themselves. This is the way this works. And when it is just so clear. Boots on the ground again. As you know, I went to North Carolina, I went to Tennessee, and I went to Tampa during Hurricane Helene. That was not a natural disaster.
Right.
There's so much evidence of that. What really got me boots on the ground finally is I'm on the phone with the guy. So I'm watching the news and they're like 85 people found dead. And I'm on the phone with the guy because I'm trying to get some information, because we're driving money. And you remember this. You did a great job at driving donations to North Carolina. I'm on the phone with the guy, boots on the ground. I go, wow, they're saying 85 dead. He goes, Lewis, I have 200 bodies in a truck right now, in a cooled truck. And I'm looking at it right now at 200 bodies. He goes, that's a lie. So I started to dig into it, right? We are being just manipulated on the highest levels. And I'm so glad that you have been on top of the narrative forever, because people have to hear this. And it's not bullshit. This is real world stuff we're dealing with. And this is my frustration with the elections, is the people that we're supposed to trust are completely ignoring us. And I'm going to put their feet to the fire within the next week, and that's not going to happen anymore. And if they don't like me, I'm not here to make friends.
Yeah. Yep. We need more people fighting like this. It's because, you and I have been doing it for a while and pointing this stuff out. There's other people, of course, that are doing this, but I don't think we're going to win unless we get physically active.
I agree. I agree.
And I'm not talking about violence in the streets. I'm talking about we set up court systems. We start doing arrests. We start our own prison systems. I don't care what that's going to take. If we have to man up people with guns to protect all that stuff, I'm there. I'm ready. Let's go.
And there's a way to do it. We could talk privately about that.
Okay, very good. And so I think that's what's coming. I don't see, unfortunately, the federal government getting involved on the level we keep hearing they are, because we haven't seen that. If we have, like we're talking about, directed energy weapon attacks again, because I thought it was over. I'm like, well, we haven't had them in a long time. The good guys must be in charge, and they're keeping that in check. No. We're seeing it right now happening, up and down the West Coast and around the world. France, we're same situation, burned out houses, green trees around them. Spain, Greece, same. It's not just America. These evil people are around the world.
Look at what's happening in Dubai. Dubai is being flooded for 2 weeks straight of rain. And they openly admit that they were manipulating the weather, and they can't stop it right now.
Wow. Huh.
The madness that is going on right now, I think there's also a scorched earth element of it, because I do think the bad guys are losing. So they're going to do as much damage on their way out as possible. Now, in Ventura County, where I live, I was excited for a while because our chemtrails have been gone for like 2.5 months. I'm just excited. And then I decided to dig into it day before yesterday. And you know what I find? that now they have the ability to seed the atmosphere and it stays up there for almost a year.
Wow.
So they don't have to seed it all the time. They've condensed it so nano-sized that it'll stay up in the atmosphere for a long, long time.
No kidding.
Yep.
That totally makes sense. Yeah, here we haven't seen, the chemtrailing like we have in the past, but there's definitely control of the weather, because normally we'd be having, afternoon rains. We haven't had any, and that's not normal. Of course, we got, El Nino that's happening out there. That eventually, those winds, those seas, and those that atmospheric river is going to start to come our way. It's about ready to flip, I think, and it's going to be, we're burning now, and soon we'll be, like drowning. So it's crazy.
Yep. So it's, what if this is all just to wake us up? Let's go with that narrative. Okay. Well, then wake up and do something about it.
Yeah.
No, just knowing about it really is not going to help. Do something about it. And I get people go, Lewis, what can we do about it? Literally just forward Mike's shows every single day.
Absolutely.
That's doing something about it. But take your time, like schedule, say, okay, here's my top 5 guys. I'm going to be on their social media. I'm going to be on their shows, and I'm going to forward it every day. That's it. That's all you have to do. And pray and manifest positivity.
You're amazing as always. Glad we got together. Sorry about the other day. It's crazy stuff that's going on out there.
Yeah.
But we got it together. We kept it quiet, and you just kind of slid in when you slid in, and it worked out pretty good.
My style, Mike.
Yep, and that's the way it's got to be these days. It's crazy. You should be, on top, being the governor of California. Coming up, but
I actually think I'm going to do more damage not being the governor of California.
I hope so.
More damage to the baddies, that is.
Wow, that's going to be something. So I'm looking forward to it. Yep, pray, guys, and share. This is a way we can work together to take them down.
Yeah, and we've got this. Just because I'm pissed doesn't mean we don't have this. We're just in that phase of we got to act, and that's where we are.
And we've been told that, someone's going to come in and take care of business and, just eat the popcorn, have a good time, observing. But now the observation is over. It's time to really start to get more aggressive, and then more aggressive again, and aggressive again, and aggressive again until it's all over for them.
Yep.
All right, Lewis, thanks so much. Where can people reach you?
Well, my site's being revamped. It's screwbiggov.com. But if you just go on there and click on how to get a hold of me or whatever it is, I don't even know what it is at this time. At least get on my email list, and then I can get you all my everything that's out there. I got tons and tons of platforms. And the reason why we're putting all the links back up on the website is because, again, we get taken down. So that's how you can keep finding us. But, the more we're suppressed, the more we're deleted, the more we just know that we're over the target. So I don't get upset anymore. We just move forward.
Absolutely. All right, my brother. Good to have you on again, and look forward to sharing more of your information as you dig deeper, and you're exposing, like you said. So let's go. Let's get it done. All right.
It could be fun. See you, man. Take care.
You too. Bye, everybody. Thanks a lot.